this is Nancy with Life's Blessings, and today I just want to give you an update on how our homeschooling is going so far for the month of January 2020. It doesn't seem like we should be in January already, but believe it or not, we'll soon be in February. So time is really slipping by fast. If you see me looking down at any point during the video, it's because I am looking at my notes. So we've been really busy lately with just life. So we've been doing a lot more unschooling lately. It's gotten to where ever since Christmas, I guess, we've been doing about 2 or 3 days a week unschooling and 2 days a week of relaxed homeschooling. So, and that's going very well. I understand that, you know, a lot of families just unschool and that's what works for them. For us, I don't believe that that would work all the time, but it is, we're definitely incorporating it. Excuse me, if I could get my words together. We're definitely incorporating unschooling into our relaxed schooling these days. And it is going very well. So we are learning in Bible about the miracles of Jesus. And then in math, Joelle is doing addition with triple digits. He is learning to tell time to 5 minutes. And he is reviewing even and odd numbers and learning to count by 3s. In kindergarten, he learned to count by 5s and 10s and 2s, but he never learned to count by 3s. I didn't see that that was necessary. It was in his book that we used for kindergarten, but I didn't see that it was necessary at that stage. So I'm having him learn it now in 1st grade. All right, so Dulce has recently learned to count by 2s and 5s and 10s, and she is still doing simple addition. She's reviewing that, and she has started doing, I believe right before our Christmas break, we introduced simple subtraction. And so we're really getting into that now. She's really got it down pat now, and we do mixed problems. You know, she'll have a couple of addition problems, then a couple of subtraction problems. Still using a Becca K5 with her and Horizons grade 1 with Joelle. So she's also learning to add and subtract with money. And that's something that's very important. She's finally learning to do that, and she's gotten that really well. She knows the differences between the coins now. And so they actually have a jar that they put their own change in whenever they do chores around the house. And they can count their own change now. So both of them together will dump it in the floor, you know, and separate it into quarters and nickels and dimes and pennies, and they count their own money. So they're doing really well with the money. All right, in science, we are still working with ACSI, Purposeful Design Science, and we're in the 5th unit, and we're learning about movement together. For critical thinking, they are still working through the Dr. Do-riddles. We do that as a group activity. A lot of times, me or Joelle will read the riddle, and then the kids will try to solve it together. If they can't think of it, then I will give them, you know, a couple of examples of what it might be. I'll help them brainstorm, and then they'll ultimately give me the answer, and then I help them to write it. They write it themselves, but I help them with the spelling. All right, and in Spanish, we are learning animal names, and they are reviewing their colors. And Dulce is still working on the numbers 0 through 20, and Joelle is reviewing his. In language arts, we recently talked about the U.S. Postal Service and how to send letters from one home to another. And I had the kids write letters to their grandmother, and they had a lot of fun doing that. I taught them, you know, the body of the letter, the salutation at the beginning, and, you know, how you should indent before you begin writing your letter, and how to close a letter, and then the signature. You know, we talked about each part of a letter, basically. And I actually wrote letters to the children before they wrote their letters, so they could see the parts of the letter, and I labeled each part, and I explained to them why each part was so important. And then I helped them to write their own. They had a lot of fun doing that. And then they also threw in, you know, some coloring pages that they wanted to send to their grandmother too. So she was tickled to death, and they were too. All right, so Dulce is learning to spell and learning to read still. Still working on that. Joelle is now able to read very well on his own, and he reads to his sister, and he follows along in his Bible at church. So he has come a really long way in the last 2 years, and we are so proud. All right, in history, we are still learning about agriculture. So thank you so much for watching, and if you have questions about homeschooling, how to get started, or maybe curious about some of the curriculum that I use, then shoot me a comment down below, and I will try to link a video down below of our curriculum choices for pre-kindergarten as well as first grade. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't subscribed already, then we ask you to subscribe too. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.